Okay, so today we're just gonna go over the COBI application. Just a quick overview. COBI will handle basically warehouse, some of the warehouse documents or transfers, and it's an Android-only application. It can also use, for example, barcode scanners in order to simplify the scanning of items and input. Okay, so this will be your main COBI screen where you have the configuration for the connection between the application and the SAP Business One system. And then we go press with login. Okay, this is the main menu for the following for the options available to COBI. So let's go a quick overview of what they do. The plus booking and the minus booking are basically the good receipts and good issue on SAP Business One. They're basically direct entry or exit of the inventory. In this case, there's also inventory transfer along with inventory transfer requests a bit at the lower in order to do transfers between warehouses or bin locations. There's also the purchase receipt, which is your receipt of purchase orders, along with the purchase return in case there's any goods return request created from SAP Business One. There's also the sales delivery along with the sales return, which handles the sales side of the inventory management, creating the delivery document or the return of the inventory. In case you have any production systems, you can also do an issue and a receive from production directly from COBI. There's also for the sales side, if you use pick list, you can do the picking process during using COBI. And finally, we have the purchase request and purchase order, which you can create directly in the COBI. And then finally, the inventory list for listing all the items along with their quantities on each warehouse, the inventory counting to do the countings created from SAP Business One, and the label printing to create labels or basically just print a digital version so you can print them using the mobile device. Okay, so now we move on to the process for the plus booking and minus booking, in which we click, for example, the plus booking is gonna give us this screen in which we're gonna add the items. This here you will have two options. You can either use the icon at the top right, which you can scan the barcode to add the item into the COBI application, or you can use the add item button here, which will bring a list of available items from the system. Here you will basically select the item you need, and it will bring you the screen of how many the item quantity is. Okay. So for example, here we need 5, and from which warehouse you want the item. In this case, there's a warehouse 1, which has no bin locations. But if we move, for example, to the outlet, you can see now it gives you a bin location option in order to show you, okay, which location are you gonna select and input that quantity. Okay, so for example, we select here, we select the bin location. In case you have units of measure, the unit section here will show you the different units. But in this case, the item has no unit, so it will basically use the basic. Then once you have the quantity and location, you just press OK, and basically it will take you back to the main page where it'll give you an overview of what you selected. Then we press the next button, so we can select, for example, the booking date, which is gonna bring today's date, but it's changeable. The reference that you want to do for that document, a selection of priority lists, any comments for this document, and two options in order to write a signature or send the document directly into the subsystem. In this case, I just write here, and then we press send. So and then here is the overview screen where you get the doc number and information about the document you just created. Now, how is it visible inside SAP? So we go here and we select a good receipt. And we look for the number 321, which is the previous document here. And as you can see now, the item basically is now in the system with the warehouse selected, the bin location, and the information that we just selected. Okay. And then you press OK, it will take you back to the main screen. Minus booking is the same process for basically the same. Select the item. Okay. And you can see here, for example, here we have an item which has a unit of measure. And basically, okay, you can select either each, case, or carton for this item. But the process is still the same. It's just select the item, select next, and send the document into SAP. It will say transmission successful, and the same process will basically be for the goodies. Okay. So basically here, already on SAP, basically you saw is the document is already being created and is already in the system. Okay. Now we move on to for example, the receipts of purchases. So if we select the document, this section, it will bring out a list of purchase orders that are open and ready for receipt. In this case, you will select the order that you're working for. And you will select all the items that have arrived to the warehouse. So for example, we select a quantity. Select the quantity. The same for the next one. Select a quantity for 20. Okay. And the same for the next one. The next one basically shows you it asks you for a batch because this item is a batch, requires a batch number. So in this case, you need to input the batch number. So that so serial numbers, you still get the same screen. Basically, you get an option to enter the serial number if the item is managed by serial number.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. So we go here, and now we see that there are 3 different colors. So the yellow color represents when the item is less than the document. The green color will represent that you basically receive the exact quantity, and the red color will mean that you receive over the quantity. In this case, we select next and select send. You can see here that the good receipt PO is now 1347. So if we go back to SAP, we can see now that we received that document, and it is based on the purchase order that we selected. Now, just to a quick mention, basically the same process is for the following documents: sales delivery, and basically the two purchase return and sales return. All of them use the same process of you selecting the document, select the items, and basically send the item into SAP in order to enter it into the system. Okay. Okay, now let's just go to picking, which gives us the option for select the pick lists that are open, in which the user can now select it. In this case, this was one previously picked, so they just selected, and add the 4 missing ones. In this case, since it's not creating a new batch number, it'll give you the option to basically show you what batches are available and which ones to select. So we can select here. And we see now we selected 4 from this batch number. Select done. And now that it's green, we now send it into SAP. And this one will basically be our pick list section. Okay, so it's 176. And now you'll see that basically that pick list has been picked by the user. Now here you have 2 different options. You can go to finish, which will show you that same pick list. And the user from COBI can create either an automatic or manual delivery document. Or you can go back to SAP and basically do the standard process of the picking and basically create the delivery in SAP itself. Okay. And finally, for the section open is just to currently review any open documents that can be created into pick list, but the user can only view these. He cannot do anything with it or convert it into a pick list from the COBI. The pick list must be created inside SAP Business One.
Using this portion or this integrated portion of COBI.
In the implementation, this is for the warehouse user.
Okay.
So the warehouse user is going to be working with the app. Yeah.
So the warehouse personnel, I guess this may be a question for Angel. So we would need licenses for those warehouse personnel.
Yes, Joan can explain a bit more with the licensing structure for COBI.
Yeah, the licenses are per device are $45 monthly, or if you wanna buy the license, I can check the price, but it's a monthly subscription. $45 per device. You can have like more than one user in the device. In the document of SAP Business One, I believe the name of the person who is signed in the device will be in the remarks, if my memory do not fail me.
Yeah,
Okay.
When configuring the devices, basically the user basically will show up on the changelog section and as the user that created that document.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but you can have like more than 5 person or 3 person using the same device.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we went over this. Okay. Okay, so in case you're using production, you can, for example, do an issue and a receipt. So if, for example, we select receipt, which shows you the production order and the completed item. And you can now add basically, okay, I received one full quantity. And in this case, it's also a batch number. The production date. There we go. And when we press send, and we go to the production order in SAP, you will see now that basically the document has been created. And the same process is the same for issue for production for any of the items that you want to remove from the in this case, this item was manual, so it must be a manual document must be created. Same selection, same batch. Select the batch that you're gonna use. It's okay. We press next and send. And transmission successful. Now the document is 206. We refresh. And in this case, now the production order is completed. Okay. Now the next ones are basically the purchase order and the purchase request. If you would like to, for the users who maybe make a specific request for certain items, or they do a purchase order directly, it's just select the section and select the items. So here, go add the document, select the document, and send it to SAP. And there we go, purchase request. Okay. Okay, now you can see the final document is PR31. And basically now you have this purchase request available on SAP, in which SAP users can now go and continue the SAP process of creating maybe the purchase order or maybe purchase quotations. Okay. And for the last three, basically we have the inventory list where we can select the warehouse. Select, for example, general warehouse, which shows us the available item here, along with what's on hand, what's committed, ordered, and available. For inventory counting, we have the counting created from SAP, in which the user can just select the item, go into the item. In this case, since there's no quantity, the user can just go input the information. And then you press send. In this case, the process for this one is a bit different because the user is gonna count way more items. So in this case, the list does not leave the screen. You will basically have multiple items here to count, and you can hide the items that you already counted by just selecting here. Once you finish, then the process is completed on SAP by copying to the inventory counting into an inventory posting. Okay. And finally, the label section of the COBI application. We go here to label printing. Okay. Okay. So now we reach the label printing where there are several templates but are also editable, and you select the information that you want to show up on the template. So for example, this item code, maybe this bin location, and then you print the label. In this case, I'm gonna select Save as PDF. So now we can see the information that we selected. For example, in this case is the code, the price, and the current date. But this can be edited a bit. It doesn't have all the too many configurations, but for example, you may want to add a business partner, or maybe you want to add the serial number or the batch number. You can also be edited into the barcode. Okay. And that will basically, okay. Okay, now we're missing the inventory transfer here. So let's go here to do a new transfer. Okay, which will basically be, we select the item here. And here it will basically be the same screen as we see, but we'll basically get two options for warehouses. So we get option to where the house is from to the warehouse to. So I want to change from the general warehouse into the outlet at a certain bin location. Press OK. Next, and send. And press OK. Oh wait, no, this is the transfer for fixed assets. And here we have the final document for the item from warehouse 01 to warehouse 05 to the specified bin location.